We all brush our teeth, but have you ever wondered why exactly you wake up and go to sleep every day routinely brushing those teeth of yours? Besides just keeping those sparkling whites clean, when did this habit even come from? Interestingly enough, do you know that this global routine that exists as part of every single human being's daily lives all came from an ad campaign done by a single man? This man was named Claude C. Hopkins. But before we jump into the story of Pepsodent and how Claude C. Hopkins made everybody in the entire world brush their teeth, make sure to subscribe to this channel so we can continue to feed you nuggets of gold on brain and behavior. So, first we have to talk about the dental hygiene crisis. Before even going into what this advertiser did, we need to understand what was actually happening at that time to give us some full context. So during World War I, at the early 20th century, there was a huge lack of awareness in oral hygiene. In fact, in America alone, only 7% of American households brushed their teeth in the early 1900s. Oral health was frequently overlooked that it began to result in a range of dental issues. But of course, this was not anyone's fault, as people just did not have a good understanding of oral health and dental hygiene. I mean, it was the 1900s after all. And also, how could they? The war was right around the corner. Tooth decay was a common problem in those days. Plaque, a sticky film of bacteria that forms on your teeth, was the very cause of that decay. And without that proper care, plaque gradually erodes enamel, which eventually causes cavities, toothaches, and bad hygiene. Of course, for those a bit more wary, people relied on basic tooth powders, but this wasn't really a long-lasting solution, as often tooth powders were very abrasive for the teeth and didn't really effectively combat plaque. Besides not knowing about this kind of stuff, there was a general lack of awareness about its importance and even how the right techniques to go about taking care of your teeth. One thing was for certain, a solution was needed. So enter Claude C. Hopkins. The American advertising pioneer and copywriter was born on September 14, 1866 in Michigan, USA. Starting his career as a newspaper reporter and editor, he eventually transitioned into the world of advertising, where he made significant contributions and revolutionized the industry through great storytelling and a more data-driven approach. Some of Hopkins' most notable achievements were during his time working at the ad agency Lord & Thomas and Swift & Company, where he worked on several successful advertising campaigns for companies like Quaker Oats, Codasuite, and Van Camp. What made Hopkins so prominent in this field was his unique approach, as I mentioned earlier, to what many call scientific advertising. At a time where there were fewer tools and technologies that we have right now, he actually emphasized the importance of measurable results, sampling products, and doing more analysis across different tests. In a way, marketers can attribute the whole A/B testing and very data-driven approach to marketing to Hopkins. His belief was that advertising was to be rooted in research and data, not just a creative whim. For Hopkins, great advertising should offer a concrete reason for why a consumer should buy. It wasn't just about empty claims and pretty pictures. Every campaign that he executed had to be built around a single selling point. And as mentioned earlier, any campaign he put out had to be measured and tested to analyze and optimize. But on top of all that, Hopkins knew that advertising, as I said earlier, had to tell a story. It wasn't just about numbers. He knew that with every great advert, you needed to tap into a person's emotions. When it comes to tapping into a person's emotions, Hopkins used emotional appeals to connect with his audience and create a deep sense of desire and urgency. Using persuasive words, Hopkins crafted compelling copy that highlighted the unique benefits of Pepsodent toothpaste. It didn't simply explain what the toothpaste was, but it convinced people that the film on your teeth was truly an enemy to beauty. And when it comes to appeal with visual storytelling, Hopkins leveraged visual elements to capture attention and convey a narrative that resonated and related to his target audience. So I know I mentioned Pepsodent and you guys might be confused, what exactly is that? So this is where we'll start to talk about how Hopkins began to change the world at large with just toothpaste. So at the time, right after World War I, where Americans, a lot of the world, had no real thought about brushing their teeth, how was it that this company named Pepsodent, toothpaste company, could persuade people to care about toothpaste. So they hired Hopkins, and through this, Hopkins tapped into the earlier mentioned strategy of appealing to emotions. He first crafted an ad that highlighted the negative consequence of poor dental hygiene, understanding the scientific causes of tooth decay, gum disease, and the wider effect of social embarrassment. By creating a sense of fear, Hopkins' campaign motivated people to want to make change. His advertisements depicted happy, confident individuals with radiant smiles, creating a positive association with a healthy smile. He also tried to capture the attention of a generation of returning soldiers with copy like, "The enemy of your teeth is a vicious film." This made the copy sound feel more relevant and relatable. He didn't also explain these scientific effects of poorly cared teeth through words alone. Instead, he made the experience tactile by writing copy like, "Run your tongue across your teeth," so that people themselves could feel the film of plaque themselves. Furthermore, he also leveraged techniques he had implemented in previous campaigns, such as using the idea of sampling, and allowed consumers to try the product first before making that final purchase. Unlike other ads for toothpaste at that time, Hopkins executed three things through his campaign masterfully. For one, he demonstrated a vivid problem. His words painted a picture in people's minds, and the act of running your tongue along the teeth made people physically feel that something was wrong. For two, he offered to solve that problem. Pepsodent gave people the opportunity to gain more from the toothpaste just by looking good, smiling beautifully, and being healthy. And then number three, he provided a free opportunity to try. At the time, the company offered a 10-day trial to test the product instead of paying upfront. This whole idea of a freebie is a modern pricing strategy that marketers use these days, and we talk about it in another video. But in just a few weeks since launching that campaign, Pepsodent exploded in demand. People were buying the toothpaste left and right, eventually becoming one of the top-selling products in the entire world. So then why was this so effective to the point that not only America, but the world at large began to adopt using toothpaste to brush your teeth? Was Pepsodent truly eliminating the film on the teeth as it claimed? Well, not necessarily. In fact, many dental authorities at the time went on to debunk the company's claims, with headlines running, "Pepsodent devoid of scientific merit." But luckily for Hopkins, he understood very clearly who his target audience was, and they were mainly women at home. And thus, most of the adverts he placed were in ladies' home journals. He knew quite well that the target audience was not sifting through pages of dental studies or journals, but were at home thinking of how to become more beautiful. But beyond tapping into this desire for beauty, what made Hopkins Pepsodent campaign truly revolutionary was his scientific understanding of the psychology of habit. Hopkins understood that habits played a significant role in shaping our actions and decisions. He recognized that with all habits, there are three key components: the cue, the routine, and the reward. Simply put, all habits are formed by these three. The cue acts as a trigger or reminder for a particular behavior or routine. The routine or response is the behavior or action that is performed in response to the cue. And the reward is a positive outcome or reinforcement that follows doing the routine, thus strengthening the habit loop. With Hopkins' campaign of Pepsodent, he touched on this very loop. In this context, the cue was a discomforting feeling of dental plaque or the awareness of bad breath. The copy instructing people to run their tongues across their teeth acted as a sensory cue to remind people that their teeth were quite dirty. The craving was the desire to be more beautiful and maintain this health. The routine response was to use Pepsodent toothpaste to keep your teeth clean. And the reward was a feeling of freshness, cleanliness, and confidence that could come with having a great smile. Understanding this very habit loop and its psychological impact on behavior at large is what made using toothpaste, or Pepsodent in this case, become a must-have for all households. From that single campaign alone, what was originally 7% of Americans brushing their teeth skyrocketed to 65%, which was 10 years after the very first campaign. And by the 1930s, Pepsodent was sold all across the world, habituating the routine of brushing your teeth into the lives of every single person on this planet. Pepsodent's success in promoting dental hygiene had a lasting impact on the oral care industry. The campaign not only transformed people's oral health practices, but also laid the foundation for the modern oral care products and advertising strategies we see today. So, the next time you pick up your toothbrush, remember that it was just the work of one single man, Claude C. Hopkins, and his persuasive advertising techniques, his understanding of the habit loop that made oral hygiene, or you brushing your teeth, a daily ritual. If you like this video, watch the video on the left where we talk about how to be more productive, and look at the playlist on the right to understand a little bit more about better ways to perform, better ways to manage your time, and topics surrounding habit. And also make sure to subscribe to this channel so we can continue to make videos like this and help you mine the golden light.